I never thought something so small could make my blood run cold. It was just a crack in the wall, thin, barely noticeable, but it was enough. Enough for him to see me. I had been in the fitting room for less than 5 minutes, swapping out my clothes for a new outfit. The store was quiet, the usual hum of shoppers muffled by thick curtains and dim lighting. I remember adjusting the strap of my tank top, turning to check the fit in the mirror when I saw it. Movement. A flicker in the crack between the wall and the divider. At first, I told myself it was nothing, maybe a shadow, a trick of the light. But then I saw it again. A slow, deliberate shift. And then the glint of an eye. Watching me. My breath hitched. My skin prickled. The air in the tiny room turned thick, suffocating. I wanted to scream, but my voice was trapped in my throat. I wanted to run, but my legs refused to move. All I could do was stare back into that sliver of darkness, into that unblinking eye. He was watching me. I don't know how long we stayed like that, locked in that horrible, silent standoff. But then the eye moved. It rolled slightly, as if savoring my fear, drinking it in. And then, worst of all, I heard it. A whisper. Soft, rasping, barely louder than a breath. Pretty. That was it. That one word shattered the paralysis gripping me. I stumbled back, crashing into the mirror, my hands flying up to cover myself, as if that could undo what had already been seen. My heart hammered against my ribs, loud enough that I was sure he could hear it too. I wanted to scream for help. I wanted to rip open the curtain and run. But what if he was waiting on the other side? What if he was close? The crack in the wall seemed to grow wider, darker. I couldn't look away. And then a knock. Sharp, sudden, right beside my head. I nearly screamed. "Ma'am," a voice, normal, cheerful, human, called from the other side of the curtain. "Do you need a different size?" I turned, trembling, toward the sound. The employee. Safety. But when I looked back at the crack, the eye was gone. For now. My hands shook as I fumbled with the curtain, my fingers slipping against the fabric before finally yanking it open. The store employee, a girl no older than 20 with a name tag reading Lena, blinked at me, her smile faltering when she saw my face. "Are you okay?" she asked, her voice dropping to a whisper. I opened my mouth, but the words wouldn't come. How could I explain what I'd just seen? How could I tell her that something had been watching me from inside the wall? Instead, I pointed. There's someone in there," I managed, my voice thin and trembling. Lena frowned, glancing at the crack in the wall. Then, to my horror, she laughed, a light, airy sound like I just told a joke. "Oh, that's just the gap between the mirrors," she said, waving a hand. "It's an old building. The walls shift sometimes." No, this wasn't some settling foundation or a trick of the light. I had seen an eye. I had heard a voice. But Lena was already turning away, her attention drifting to the next customer. I stood there, frozen, my skin crawling. The fitting room suddenly felt too small, the air too thick. I needed to get out. Now.
I grabbed my clothes, shoving them into my bag with trembling hands, not even bothering to change back. I just needed to leave. But as I turned to go, something moved in the mirror. I whipped around, my breath catching. The reflection was wrong, because I wasn't moving. But it was. A shadow, long and thin, stretched across the glass, slithering along the edge of the mirror like a living thing. And then, slowly, the surface of the glass rippled, as if something beneath it was pressing forward. I stumbled back, my pulse roaring in my ears. This isn't happening. This isn't... And then, in the reflection, I saw him. A face, half-formed, emerging from the glass like a figure rising from water. Pale, smiling. His lips parted. Stay. I screamed. The store erupted into chaos. Voices, footsteps, someone shouting for security. But all I could see was that face in the mirror, those eyes, black and endless, drinking me in. Lena grabbed my arm, her nails digging into my skin. What's wrong? What's happening? I couldn't answer. Because in the mirror behind her, the man's hand was reaching out, and the glass was breaking.